Hello, this is Steve Geischer bringing you another Parts Now Tech Tip. What I want to talk to you about today deals with the 4200 series of machines. So the HP LaserJet 4200, 4250, 4300, 4350 series of machines. So any one of these. Symptoms that I have on this machine. I've got a machine on Duplex version, capable machine, and I'm trying to duplex on it, but when I do that, I run into this problem. I get a little piece of paper starting to come out across the top half of the tray here. And in fact, if I move the machine up here and kind of tilt it up so you can see a little bit better, you can see how I've got paper starting to deliver here, but it stops right there. Now you're expecting to see paper jam on the display at this point, right? I would, but strangely not enough at this point, I don't. It sits there and continues to say processing job, or it tells me what job I'm working on. And it sits and sits and sits and sits and doesn't go anywhere. Cycle of power, I start over again, it repeats itself. Simplex, I'm doing non-duplex pages all day long, no problem. Duplex, whenever I do that, hey, we've got a problem. And you're thinking right away, duplex assembly, right? Replace the duplex assembly. Doesn't fix it, doesn't do a thing. Ooh, now what do we got going on here? Well, the fix on this one, in most cases, is relatively simple. The thing that we need to take a look at first is our cassette tray and the setup for it. You're going, gee, this sounds kind of strange. Why are we looking at the setup for the tray? Standard letter size type of setup. Yep, all the guides are set right. But what's off here is if I take a look at this, is I've got my standard custom switch. And my standard custom switch here is set up right now for custom size media. So even though I've got standard size media in here, it thinks I have custom media because of the switch here. And the switch here corresponds with the little fingers on the side. You'll notice all three fingers are sticking out here. And if I, in fact, I switch this back to standard, notice how only one of the fingers is sticking out and the other two duck back. So depending upon how my tray guide is set up here, zipping in, zipping out, it changes the finger configuration. But when it's set to custom, it tells the machine, hey, we've got specialty type of media in here. Don't use normal settings. Whatever it's programmed for on inside the menus here or programmed through the drivers, that's what you should use for this particular one. Well, most of the time, custom media doesn't go through the duplex real well, so the machine suddenly gets confused and it goes, whoa, we have a problem here, what do we do? And it doesn't have a solution. So it gets to a point and it basically freezes. And it stays there until we cycle the power, try it again, and then it freezes again. So a simple check for that one. Duplex issue, paper coming out across the top. When I'm duplexing only, check for my custom size switch. Well, what happens if you go, hey Steve, I checked the custom standard switch, it was in standard position. Everything's good, why is it still doing that? Well, from a technician standpoint, I'd probably be going, okay, well, let's go the next further steps. Are one of those fingers on the side of that tray there frozen where it's not dropping down like it should? Could it be that the switches are bad? So you see where I'm going there. I'm going to troubleshoot it as more of a hardware-related issue rather than a setting-related issue. Okay, I think you got the gist of how this might work at this point in time. So hopefully that's been a helpful tip there. If you ever come across this in your 4200 series, now you'll know what to do. So this is Steve Geischer with another Parts Now Tech Tip.